Welcome to Around the Hearth, a Hearthstone podcast brought to you weekly. All right, welcome guys to Around the Hearth. This is episode 3. I'm Dubs.
I'm Evil Squirrel.
I'm Robobson.
And welcome, guys. So, this has been a crazy week. It's the first week of Ungoro. So, I don't know. I'm stoked. There's a lot of new decks. You still see Pirate Warrior, but hey, can't win them all. I don't know if you guys want to start off with our week. I can go ahead and start off if you want, and then just, either my left or right, we can go. So, I've been playing a lot of Taunt Warrior, more specifically Control Taunt Warrior. I'm playing like the Whirlwind Effects, Executes, Brawls. And that new 2/6 taunt that makes the Raptors is really good. Especially if you can play Whirlwind or, follow it up with a Ghoul.
Right.
It's a really fun card. I love the quest for the Warrior. Shooting something for 8 every turn, Like I predicted last week. It's very good.
Yeah.
We're on the wrong channel.
Oh, well. It's going to show. Everyone will get some love here.
Yeah, but it's not on the actual thing.
It's hosting. It might take a second.
It's not. It's not there.
Sometimes it takes a few minutes for it to pop up. But it'll be there. But, what about you, Bobson? Would you like to say your week?
Yeah. So I've been experimenting with a lot of things. I've fallen in love with Miracle Rogue. It's the Sherazin build is now possibly one of my favorite decks ever in Hearthstone. I've crafted it on all 3 servers because I love it that much. Like now that Miracle Rogue doesn't just rely on Gadgetzan, Conceal, win, I find it's a much more enjoyable deck to play and play against. It doesn't just feel like fun and interactive. Like the mirror matches between 2 Miracle Rogues now are like, they feel so good.
Honestly, I haven't played the deck, and I haven't played against it yet, so I have no idea.
So good. Like, the mirror match is, like, it's like chess. You're always just like, Like, there was one match earlier where, like, I could trace back where I'd won to a play I made in turn 2. Like, it goes, but, like, obviously winning on, like, turn 15.
Yeah,
like
that's good. That's exciting if you can enjoy.
Like
the game.
it's like the only issue is it loses to Pirate Warrior a substantial amount of the time.
I think every deck loses a Pirate Warrior. That's
it's just painful. Although I did beat one by swashbuckling into an Arcanite Reaper earlier. That felt good. That felt really good.
That's a nice way to win. That's for sure. Well, I can't wait to hear your more in-depth analysis on it when we get to your deck of the week. So for me, my week in Hearthstone's been amazing. It started out with the pack openings. Had a lot of fun with my buddies. We all get together and open some packs and have some beers and chill out, and we had a good time. Got some great cards and built some awesome decks. I think that my favorite part about my week in Hearthstone is that it's been so diverse. Not just who I'm playing against, because you never know what you're going to come up against when your class is there. But I probably played 12 different decks over the past 5 days or whatever since Ungaro's been out. And while I have my favorites, every deck that I play is fun in its own way. Like I'm really excited to try the Sherazin Miracle Rogue. Might have to just go craft the golden one when this is over.
Oh,
You know,
dreams.
I really am enjoying just playing like from Elemental Shaman to my Zoo Disco Lock to just a straight Zoo to the different types of hunter decks to even Elemental Paladin. I'm having a ton of fun with. So it's just
Murloc Paladin.
it's just been an awesome
I
week.
love Murloc Paladin.
It's fun.
It's just really great that when I play against someone, I don't know what they are. Like, when the meta is established and you play against.
Even if they're a warrior,
Yeah.
like I think it's a solid 50-50
I know, yeah,
right
I'm
now.
like-
Which one?
I'm
So
like,
I'm like, what do I mulligan for?
Yeah,
Shit.
Yeah.
which makes it fresh and exciting. So I'm really, for me, the week actually like the first like the first 2 weeks after an expansion launches is the most exciting and enjoyable time to play Hearthstone.
oh yeah.
So it's been a great week.
Experimentation time.
Yeah, I've had a
Yeah,
lot of fun. I played a bunch of different decks. It's just, I don't know, especially with Warrior, it's like, if they don't play their quest on turn 1, you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, Pirates it is.
Turn 1, Queen out. Axe.
Yeah.
I'm in charge now.
He's always in
It
fucking
it hasn't been as bad, and I'll tell you, I do not miss seeing Tunnel Trog.
Yeah.
I do not miss seeing Totem Golem.
Oh, I think it's a million times better than the Main Streets launch.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I liked it, but Pirates caught on quickly. Like, I mean, yeah, we have Quest Rogue, but I mean that's not unstoppable to the point like Pirate Warriors was when it first came out. Like, that was
what I found interesting is kind of like aggro has not been weakened by any means, but a lot of the other aggro decks have like been made stronger.
I feel like there's like an aggro deck for every class now.
Yeah. there is.
Like
good.
Really?
like aggro druid is now insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean,
Aggro paladin,
if every
aggro-
class gets a aggro deck, I mean, who's to complain? I mean,
aggro priest.
Yeah.
It works.
I actually was.
I've been playing it.
There's a Purified Priest, and like it's not uncommon
It's
for
actually
like
good.
turn 2 to have an 8/8 Northshire cleric. Maybe like turn 3.
I played
like-
against a priest who dropped 2 of those 4/8 can attack guys, and then next turn he purified both of them, and it was game over.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was
Purified
like,
priest is really good now.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I was playing. I was like turn 6, turn 7. The guy had the 4/8 plant, and he doubled its health twice, and then made its attack its health or its health as attack, and then attacked me. And I just died. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, earlier I died to a 32-32 Lyra the Sunshard,
I mean,
which
like,
had been made 32-32 entirely by spells it had given it.
I mean,
He was
it's
very
frustrating.
underrated.
It's
Very
yeah,
underrated.
it's frustrating to die that way.
Miracle Priest is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I think I made like I played against a guy on ladder who was playing like loads of combos with the new elemental which discounted spells and Priest of the Feast and things like. But this was like kind of before it had caught on like it has in the past day or two, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. So like I made this deck. I asked my friends, can I try out a deck on you? Because I was at like rank 4 or something, or 3, and didn't want to lose stars by playing possibly a terrible deck. Playing against like 3 of his decks, completely destroyed it. I was like, oh my god, this is actually good.
Did you guys see that exploit that Disguised
Oh,
Toast
the
got?
DDoS priest.
He got banned for. He got like
Did he get banned?
he got a 1-day ban for apparently exploiting something, but he always conceded that. I thought it was weird. But yeah, like you have 2 of those Radiant Elementals out, and then you play your first whatever the card is that discovers a card in your deck, and you just keep choosing itself.
Yeah, no, because it only works if it is the only other spell in your deck.
I mean, that's how it works. But yeah, like you just skip your opponent's turn.
Yeah, and the animation, and if you keep doing it throughout your turn, the animation will go on for long enough that your opponent's turn will be skipped, and then you get another turn.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a poor
Which is
man's
hilarious.
time warp. So
It needs time warp.
yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to global games. I haven't been watching too much of it, so I'll let you guys take the lead on this one because I don't know.
Well, here's my news bumper. Hold on. Okay.
All right,
Now
thank you.
Yeah, so I saw a couple of matches. I saw, I think it was Russia versus Spain was, I think, the only one I saw the entirety of, and it had possibly the most hilarious moment, hilariously tragic. So I think it was Spanish player Duck versus Russian player Ina. And what the cast was saying is Ina was on the Russian lineup before Pavel, then Stanidaci. So the kind of consensus was if Spain want to stay in it, they probably need to win this match. And they were really far ahead. They were doing really well. Quest Rogue against Quest Mage is quite a good matchup for Quest Rogue because they have so much in the way of charge minions once they get to 5-5. And also this variant of Quest Rogue was running Cold Lights, I think, to target Quest Mage. And so I think he completed the quest with either Cold Light or Novice Engineer, and you can probably see where this is going. So he completed the quest with 10 cards in his hand.
Jeez. Oh no.
So he milled himself. He didn't get the reward of the quest.
Wow.
And unsurprisingly lost.
That deck is miserable if you don't have the quest.
Yeah.
Then you've just got a bunch of novice engineers and stone tusk balls.
I'm gonna beat you down with my 1/1 charges.
Against the Alex Straza Arcane Giant build. Like, he didn't even use time up in the end. He just had a bunch of 8/8s and won quite comfortably in the end. Yeah, Russia won that game 3-0. Amazingly.
Yeah. It's always embarrassing to do stuff like that on stream. I feel their pain.
I was catching little bits and pieces of the global games. I mean, I think it's such an amazing concept, and I commend Hearthstone for doing it.
Oh, definitely.
And making it, a different type of tournament. In that regards, I myself actually am joining a league type tournament that's going to be starting soon, and I'm really excited because it's going to be something different. It's not just going to a venue and playing a round robin or doing double elimination. You're playing and you're getting seeded, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that leagues and things are good. So, if you people
you're gonna win.
If you want to start a league, let us know. We'll help you get started, and
definitely.
It's definitely a fun way to go. The only thing that I have to comment about the global games was a big props to Forsen for his team to drop out and say that he wasn't going to accept the invitation because of Ponyhuff. It's an old scandal with Ponyhuff, and I get it. He was caught cheating and rigging a tournament.
He wasn't caught. He was he is strongly believed to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there's no concrete proof. It's just very, very suspicious.
Yes.
The circumstances of the whole situation.
So anyway, I'm glad that Forsen stood up for himself, and in the end, Ponyhuff and one of his other teammates decided to ramble their mouths a little bit too wide, and both got eliminated from the tournament. So
yeah.
But congrats to Blizzard for doing a good job with all that, and handling the PR good, and just doing a good job. So
yeah.
Although one thing that must be noted is that the kind of publicity around the global games could have been a little bigger.
I didn't even know it started. I'll be honest.
I discovered that it had started today purely by accident,
Yeah.
by like clicking on it, just clicking around somewhere. Like even if you go on the Global Games site on the BattleNet website, it doesn't even mention. It's got the results up now.
Yeah, I was.
Now it has the stream up. It didn't when once the games had actually started.
I was on Twitch and I saw it play Hearthstone, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Global Games."
Yeah, that's how I saw it too. So,
yes.
Yeah.
That was the other match that I watched. Quite a amazing match. In China versus Sweden. Sweden came from 2-0 down to win 3-2.
Good for them.
It was a pretty fantastic result.
So let's move on to the next piece of news. It's something I wanted to just bring up here, because it's been in the news a lot, and amazingly, as much as I and we all read Reddit, a lot of people have been complaining about how Hearthstone this year is going to be a 3 expansion year, and how financially, if you look at what you would need to put into the game to get all the cards, it's substantially more, significantly more every year. And even over in the EU now, they've adjusted prices to kind of correlate with United States pricing, and therefore the price of packs in lots of countries, including the United Kingdom, have gone up. So people were complaining about this, about price pack increases and all this, and I get it, but I didn't realize to the level that it was going to go. Forbes magazine has an article about the Hearthstone and how the Hearthstone money,
the
Hearthstone money situation, where talking about how much do you have to pay to play to get everything, and how it's affecting free-to-play players, and it's very interesting. So what do you guys think regarding this?
I don't know. I personally think that you shouldn't complain about having to pay. Like, I'm coming from a Magic the Gathering background, and top decks are like $1,500 to play. So this is absolutely nothing to me. Like, I paid $50 and I have all the cards in the expansion. So, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm coming from already having
$50.
Yeah, I mean, I had gold too.
How the
I had about 8,000 gold, because I play the game, and I did the $50 pre-purchase. I have every card. I'm missing like 3 cards from the whole set, from the dust I got, the packs and everything. So like, I mean, if once you get the the classics collection, I mean, it's pretty much all you need, and then you build up bits and pieces from each set. And I truly think the $50 pre-purchase is enough to get like 2 or 3 decks per expansion. And if you truly want to get collect every card in the whole game, then you shouldn't even be complaining, I think.
Yeah, that is always going to be.
Because
that's
expensive. That's when it gets expensive. Trying to get every single card, you have to buy useless amounts of packs to just get the dust to craft this stuff. But to play competitively, I don't know.
Especially the wild cards.
Yeah, I mean, like $500 is a lot of money, yes. But if you truly want to get competitive in a game and play for money in tournaments, $500 isn't that much.
There's a lot of different points that I see to this. As a person who pays, I think of it as my hobby, and I don't want to get into that so much as how much it would cost for the average person. And if you think about, like a World of Warcraft subscription is like $15 a month, so that's $45 over 3 months, or $60 over 4 months, which is what an expansion cycle is. Mm-hmm. So if you think about that in the pre-purchase type way, if you like a pre-order, it's really like $15 a month if that's the only money you're going to put in, and you get a substantial amount of cards with the pre-purchase and with saving up gold. I do feel bad though I don't want to say feel bad. but I do recognize the free to play players conundrum because one of my close friends is a free to play player, and he was able to open up about 60 packs using his gold that he saved up. But at the end of it all, when all this was said and done, to me, since I bought a lot of packs, I could go and create any deck I wanted.
Yep.
And he had to really look at what he got and had to build the only like one or two decks that he could from the cards that he was able to obtain. So he was limited in what decks he could play, and still is. And so I think that to combat this, I really, really liked the daily login rewards.
That was like 3 or 4 packs you got for free.
I think it was a fantastic idea from Blizzard. There are lots of other game companies that and collectible card game companies that do it. I think Blizzard needs to get on that for everyone, and I think that would be a good way to combat a lot of these people's and to combat a lot of the issues going on with this.
Oh no, I personally feel like it's kind of like a slap in the face for free-to-play players to complain about competitive. I mean, you're playing the game, of course, you want to get the cards, but like a lot of people are like, you tell me I have to pay to play competitively. Like some people, this is their job, and they have to pay to play. And like, I don't know. I just feel like on the internet, people just expect free things. So like, I mean, you have to understand. You go ahead.
What I think is like more of an issue is kind of like. For free-to-play players, it's because they have much less in the way of resources which they want to put in the game. There's really not that much kind of, unless you're like very active on Reddit, which a new free-to-play player probably isn't going to be. There's not much in the way of kind of guidance as to what is like a good use of what you have.
Yeah.
And it's very punishing for someone to make a mistake when they're starting out when it comes to like crafting or experimenting.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no incentive for a free-to-play player to experiment with what they're doing. Like their absolute best bet, and their absolute best bet is to kind of go on the internet and find maybe a deck to craft. And then if they don't like that deck or the play style of that class, which they're not going to know too well if they're a new player either, then they're kind of screwed.
My wife would disenchant
all of that.
She would build a deck, not like it, disenchant all of the cards, and then start over from scratch, and she had to play like basic cards. And I had to, like, it took her a while to realize, like, you can't do that. You just have
that
to,
loses you a lot of dust.
Yeah, you just have to suck it up, play the deck, earn some gold, get packs with it. That's the biggest struggle, I think, for free-to-play players. Like you said, it's hard to allocate your resources. Like, if I spend like $50 in expansion, like Evil Squirrel said, like we have the ability to experiment with stuff. We don't like it. Okay, we'll just use our other cards.
Yeah, I've like when you got a full collection, you can just go, let's fuck around with this stuff.
But then again, we all went through that struggle too. We're just at a different point in our our gaming career, I guess you would call it. But like, we've all been through that struggle.
Yeah, and it was, for want of a better word, pretty shit.
Yeah, it was miserable. I hated it.
So I fully empathize with this. Like, more like as it goes on, they are going to have to up new players for, because if starting out the game is just immediately a grind, why would you play it?
I mean, that's the big reason for standard. Like, at most, there's going to be like 4 sets.
Like now is the easiest time to get a full collection.
Oh, for sure.
As it's going to be the first expansion of every year. Yeah. It's going to have but especially now, so many cards are rotated out. There's going to be a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we can go on and on and on about this forever. We should probably move on.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm glad we discussed it. But I just think like that was.
I could talk about this all day.
What I think would be like a kind of good idea is like a mode which lets people kind of try like existing meta decks.
You mean like kind of like a playtest server?
Yeah, like
That'd be
people
cool.
can like there'll be just be like pre-made builds of like
Kind of like Tavern Brawl, where you don't own the cards, but if you wanted to play them, you could.
yeah,
That'd be
like
cool.
exactly that. So then people can actually discover what they like playing without investing a lot of resources into
Yeah.
cards.
There was just one more point I wanted to bring up, and then we'll move on. In relation to Magic, because I was a Magic Gathering player too. The one thing that are apples and oranges is that you can sell your Magic cards.
That is true.
So you invest $1,500, and you could actually wind up with a profit in a year, depending on your cards. Every penny that you sink into Hearthstone is gone.
That is true.
Yeah,
But that's why it's also a lot cheaper too. Like I have a deck right now. It's like I think it's $1,800 worth in like value. I mean, it took me a long time to get it built, but like like I can sell that for $1,800. Hearthstone I couldn't, but Hearthstone only cost me like maybe $500 at most. I probably spent like maybe $500 total. Since beta, and have a full collection. I don't know. That's why I like Hearthstone a lot. It's a lot cheaper, a lot cheaper.
fair. But it's always like any other game. It's easy to lose track of how much money you're sinking into it.
Yeah.
Something I do. Oops.
Okay. So let's move on. The next thing that we want to talk about is
The meta.
So what are your thoughts on how the meta's
So do you
turning out?
do you just want to take turns like
Anyone?
listing like top 1 through 5, like not tiers, but like the top 5 decks?
sure.
What we think are the top 5 decks right now?
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So I would say the top 5 strongest decks currently would be Pirate Warrior in there.
Obviously.
I would say Quest Rogue.
Yep.
I would say the Mage, the Time Mage deck.
Which one?
Interesting.
Which one?
The Quest Mage with the Arcane Giants and
Exodia?
Alex.
Oh, it's not Exodia. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going for the Giants one.
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
that
Exodia
one's
one's. I feel like it's an easier combo to get off.
Yeah, Giants is a lot easier.
It's also completely screwed by
Yeah.
a lot of things.
And then I would say I'm seeing a ton of Hunter, but mostly Face Hunter. And then probably Zoo. I'm seeing a lot of just straight up Zoo with the pterodactyls and the eggs.
Yeah. That one after your attacks adapt is actually really good. It looks weak,
Yeah.
but like you give it Wind Fury, it attacks again. That's another adapt. I don't know. That
Yeah.
card.
It's
That's probably
pretty
one
mad.
of the. That's probably one of the most underestimated cards. I think.
I agree.
All right. I guess
Yeah, I
I'll
thought it was terrible at first.
All right, Bobson, what do you think? Top 5.
I think I've got some. So are we going strongest decks here or most popular?
strongest.
What do you think the top? Well, whatever you want.
Okay, yeah. Top 5.
So I disagree with Squirrel on a couple of those. Obviously, Pirate Warrior is still annoyingly good, but it's got a fair few counters in this meta. So there's at least that. Obviously, Quest Rogue is also. I think those two are undeniably the two decks to beat right now.
Quote cancer.
Fuck the phrase.
It's
Something is
so
cancer.
Stupid. Yeah.
It's still very much beatable.
What else?
Then I'm gonna go Miracle Rogue. I think that is one of the most
It's a good deck.
consistently
It
strong
hit
decks.
rank 1 legend. So I mean, any deck that can hit rank 1 legend is good.
Big up Eloise.
Yeah.
Yes, like two of the decks I know to hit rank 1 legend were Miracle Rogue and Quest Rogue. So Rogue's in a pretty good place right now.
Thank God.
Like-
It needed its time in the sun.
It's always had like a pretty continuous like tier 2-ish thing going on.
It hasn't been tier 1 in a while. I mean, like Miracle Rogue for a little bit was tier 1, but yeah.
Then what else? In terms of overall strength, yeah, I think I think mid-range Hunter is stronger than base Hunter.
I agree.
Actually,
Which mid range though? With Dynamancy or without Dynamancy?
without Dynamancy, I don't think Dynamancy is very good. Sadly, I'm quite surprised, but it turns out Stampede isn't very good either. It's just too slow.
Stampede's pretty good in the quest though. If you pull off the Queen Carnissa,
It's pretty good in the quest, and it's, I believe, pretty good in arena if you just draft a shitload of beasts. And Hunters, it's like now Hunter versus Pirate Warrior is a very close game, which it really was not before the expansion. And Crackling Razormaw is fucking insane.
It is. That card is really.
That card is so good.
I can't count how many times I've adapted an Alley Cat and traded up big time.
I think Bobson. I think you said it was a pretty shitty card when we were doing our reviews, didn't we?
Yeah, I should have got a video clip or a voice clip of that. That's a shitty card. That's okay. We missed the ball on a few cards.
Yes.
I did a Trump. It's fine. Rogue Quest 1 star.
Yeah, I knew that card was going to be amazing. So
I did call the Rogue Quest.
You did.
You did.
Amongst many doubters, and yeah. So my other two, I think, top decks. I don't think the Mage Quest is good enough in what is quite a flop. I'm gonna go Aggro Druid. I think Aggro Druid is crazy strong right now.
All right.
Turns out Living Mana is actually really good.
Living Mana, adapt your minions on turn 9 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hate
just
it.
Just Living Mana, Savage Roar. Or just Living Mana, anything.
I mean,
it's such an annoying thing to deal with.
7 2/2s is pretty good.
Also, that the 5 mana 8/8, that's a pretty good aggro card.
Yeah, 5 mana 8/8, not too bad. 4 mana 7 was pretty good.
I think Zoo is possibly up there. I can't think of a deck which is consistently as strong right now, so I'm gonna go with Zoo.
The old school Zoo is really, really strong right now.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of different variants, but the most common straight Zoo decks that I'm seeing now have the eggs, the dinosaur eggs, and the
Zoo has the single strongest 2-card combo going right now.
The pterodactyl, the double adapt.
The egg into the pterodactyl is just brutal.
Disgusting.
Like every time that egg goes down, I'm like, oh shit, do I kill the egg? But then I've got a 5/5.
It's a 4 mana 7/7 that gives you a 5/5. I mean, it's just ridiculous when it goes off.
Yeah.
Although I have figured out that if they look like they're gearing up to play that, like they play that on turn 3 very quickly, very confidently, and you know that the thing's going to come out. The best thing to do is kill the egg.
Yeah.
They may have a 5/5, but it means that they can't summon their 4-drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what they do? They take their 5/5, they trade it in to something to give it. It takes 4 damage, and then they kill it.
But then you're still in a better position than 5/5 and adapted thing. Like it's brutal.
It is. It's disgusting.
All right, so I'm going to give my top 5 now.
Hit us. What you got?
Pirate Warrior is not included. All right.
Really?
Number 1, Quest Rogue.
Ooh, we had a suggestion. Purify Priest.
Purify Priest is actually in my top 5. It's actually really good.
Ooh. It is
That
very good.
That was a good sound effect. All right, so
I should do the sound effects for the show.
So
I think.
number 1, Quest Rogue for sure. Number 2, I'd have to say is Quest Mage. I don't either variant. They're both good. I think the Alexstrasza, the giant Alexstrasza one's a little bit better. Just it's easier to pull off because you play a couple of giants, Alexstrasza, and you win. Or you can even do one giant Alexstrasza Fireball attack, you win. Number 3, I gotta say is Taunt Warrior. I've been playing it so much, and it's like if you get a couple taunts on, like 3 or 4 taunts, it's like really hard for them to deal with that. And effectively, like you're playing with like 100+ life when you're playing with that, because they have to attack with taunts first. And once you get the quest off, I mean, you're effectively you're killing one of their minions every turn, and then hitting them in the face. You're slowly winding them down, and you're shooting them in the face for 8. I gotta say it's really good. Number 4, I'd probably say Purify Priest. Just because every time I've seen it be played, it's very effective. Playing. There's a lot of really powerful statted minions that can't attack, but now Purify has a reason to be played, and you're drawing a card and making a really high statted, low costed minion to be able to attack. It's really good.
It is good.
Good job, Ben Brode. We all hated you for that card, but I gotta say, I still think it's a little bit overcosted to silence your own minion. But hey. But anyways, number 5. What would I say? Number 5, probably Zoo, not including the quest.
Obviously, not including the quest.
Because I mean, you really don't discard enough cards, enough. But just straight up Zoo, it's good. Like Evil Squirrel played me, and he whooped my ass. Like I wasn't getting anything. Like I was playing Quest Rogue, and he beat me every time.
I played Quest against you. And
did you?
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, like he just played like an old school Zoo. He just got some imps down, started playing some cheap minions, filled the board, and I couldn't do anything. He's great.
Solid.
Wow. I mean, I don't know.
Last time you're a friend with me, huh?
He beat me and took my 80 gold, and he just left.
Left you lying in the dust.
I was laying there crying. I was like, this deck is supposed to be good. No.
So
I feel like a lot of the decks can beat Pirate Warrior.
Yeah, no, a lot of decks can beat it, but also a lot of decks really struggle with it, which is if they get the strength.
If they get the God Hand, they win. You can have you can beat against any deck. They get the right hand, they're going to win, guaranteed.
If Pirate Warrior curves, it wins almost all of the time.
I just feel like now a lot of the decks are, giving it a run for its money, and I don't know.
Like Zoo gives Pirate Warrior a good run for its money.
Yeah, Zoo does.
The 3/8
Hunter
taunt
does now. Purify Priest and Handlock both make pirates very sad. Yeah. I'm quite surprised that Purify Priest is better than Handlock.
Yeah, I mean,
which is
Purify
really,
Priest is
really strange.
It's at any point in time an OTK deck, but it's not a dedicated OTK deck. That's what I like about it. Like it's it's like a meme deck, but it's good. I don't know.
It gives the Purify Priest strength is that it gives your opponent some really hard decisions.
Yeah, do I kill that 4/5?
That Ancient Watcher comes down. Your opponent's going, fuck.
Yeah,
do I kill that? Can I kill that?
Do I fireball that? Like, oh my god, am I about to fireball something that can't attack me yet? Like, oh.
They're like, do I backstab, eviscerate a minion that can't attack yet?
I'd actually would like to retract one of my statements. I forgot to mention Elemental Shaman. I feel like that deck is actually pretty good.
I love Elemental
And
Shaman.
I'd actually like to place that at number 4 and bump down from Purify Priest to take the slot of Discard Block. Discard Block could be. It could
I
be
think that Taunt Warrior is up there. I'll tell you though, if I see a ton of that Taunt Warrior out there, I'm going to start playing the Exodia Mage and just fireball all your armor away.
The what?
And
You play the what?
Exodia Mage.
No. How did you? I want to hear him say it again.
Exodia?
Oh my god! Did you ever play?
I-
Did you play Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid or as a young man? I should say. Exodia was a card that if you had all 5 of the cards in your hand, you won the game.
Exodia.
Yeah. It's called Exodia Mage because it requires 5 cards to win. Yeah.
There you go. Well, maybe it's called Exodia Mage, okay?
Exodia. All right.
And also because it's just an instant win condition.
Yeah.
Like
But
you have it.
That eats all your armor.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like the Exodia Mage variant more, because there's a fair amount of Taunt Warrior, and the Alex Straja version just loses both to taunts and
infinite damage. This is like one of the few infinite damage combos Hearthstone's ever had. It's pretty cool.
But no, it's the only infinite damage combo.
Is it?
Hearthstone. Just now there's a second way to pull it off, which isn't in Wild. But before there was the duplicate Echo of Medivh.
Oh, that's right.
Emperor shenanigans.
When I first saw that happen to me,
Apprentice,
like he played the Sorcerer's Apprentice, played Antonidas, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Did I just lose?" He started shaking, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he had like 1 health left. And I was like, "Man, that's pretty cool," but I'm mad.
So let's now move on to our next segment, the decks of the week.
All right, I'll start off because I'm very excited about this deck. Here, let me get this switched over. All right, here's our deck talk, sponsored by Invisible Threat Gaming. Yes, go buy their jerseys. They're very comfortable. All right.
Where's yours?
Leave me alone. It's in the mail, okay? All right. Anyways, so this is Taunt Warrior. It's actually a control variant. You know, a lot of the other decks just had taunt cards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like
pretty standard control warrior.
This is control warrior with a shit ton of taunt minions. So as the quest, obviously you got the double shield slam, double dirty rat, which is very important. It shuts down quest rogue, shuts down quest mage. It's very good, and it actually is surprisingly really good in the mirror match with against other taunt warriors, because if you can steal the Stonehill Defender from their hand, that because the quest
so much value's gone.
It says play, not summon, so you're stealing 2 taunt minions from their quest if you pull that. It's very good. 1 sleep with the fishes, because it's just really it helps clear just pretty much anything.
Isn't it because the Primordial Drake sleep with the fishes combo just that's 5 damage for quest rogue. There's
a lot of synergy in the deck. Like I actually also what did I take out? I can't remember. I substituted one of the cards. I think maybe it was Direhorn Hatchling to put in the card that summons the 3 raptors. Because that card is great with, especially like quest rogue, anything like that. You play that and you play, is it Brawl? Now it's like a big chance for them to be left with a 1/1. So like.
Although if it's quest rogue, it might be a 5/5.
Okay, not quest rogue, but yeah, like I don't know, Elemental Shaman.
I have made that exact mistake.
Someone did that to me when I was playing Rogue, and I was like, "Thank you."
I had somebody devolve my quest rogue. I had a 5/5 wisp.
Yeah, someone hexed me once. And
5/5 frog with taunt.
I was like, "Oh, thanks." But anyways, so a few of the cool little synergies with it runs Curator. It gives you Deathwing most of the time. I mean, just maybe I'm lucky. I don't know, but Deathwing is a great
Deathwing.
insurance policy against a lot of decks.
I mean, it runs. Was it? It's just two beasts, right? Just the two hatchlings.
Yeah, so you
I mean, a 7-mana 4/6 taunt guaranteed draw two good
it's
cards.
great. I mean the curator has
Or it could draw the 5-mana 6/9 with taunt.
yeah. So like, most of the time if I get Deathwing, I play him with like a shield slam in my hand when I have no more armor and I can't gain armor because my hero power is Ragnaros. So like, it's great. Or like if I get Primordial Drake from it, I slam that down, shoot everything, for 2, and then either play Sleep with the Fishes, or if it clears the board, now I have a free 8 damage to the face. I don't know. I think this deck's really good. I don't think it's fully refined yet, but it's really good.
Yeah, I experimented with it quite a lot, and I was never like. At first, I went with shield blocks and shield slams, and I took them out because I didn't think they were very good. And then, turns out they are good.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's one of those decks which is gonna evolve a fair bit over time.
Yeah, shield block is just really good, especially once your hero power changes to get that little bit more armor. Especially in the mirror match. Like shield block can soak up most of a 8 damage to your face.
Oh, you don't run Acolyte.
Nope.
So I guess you need that card draw. Like, what card draw do you run? Just slam and 2 shield blocks.
Slam,
and
shield
curator.
I mean, it doesn't really need much more card draw.
Yes. Well, what I play against this. I'm going on my experiences of playing against this deck largely as a Miracle Rogue, and what I've found is that it does kind of run out of steam.
I agree.
After a while,
I don't know.
And I say this because it is the single most annoying card to have in this deck because it just ruins Miracle Rogue. But Armorsmith.
It's a good card. I love it against
Armorsmith is so annoying for Miracle Rogue to deal with because you're doing like backstabs and eviscerates and little chip damage into these taunts and just racks up so much, and then it's just impossible to get the burst in.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on now to Miracle Rogue. So, Repopson, if you'd like to take this one.
So, this is my new all-time favorite deck. So, obviously, Miracle Rogue runs a few staple cards. You've got the 2 gadgets, and you've got the Thalnos, the backstabs, the coins, the preps. It runs patches for the deck thinning, but it does only run 2 swashbucklers. It does not bother with the South Sea deckhands because the deck only runs 1 cold blood. It relies largely on huge spell turns and getting out the Arcane Giants and massive Edwin for like the massive tempo swings. It doesn't rely on burst like the South Sea Deckhand or the Leroy, which goes both for and against the deck, lacking the ability to burst down. An aggro deck is kind of a weak point of the deck, but it's normally not too big of an issue. But the interesting additions are the new cards. So, I mean, we have this lovely picture right at the top there of Sherazin Corpse Flower, a card I thought was going to be bad, a card that everybody thought was going to be bad. Turns out it's not very bad. It's actually quite fucking good.
Yeah, especially with those Razor Petals, it seems pretty easy to get 4 cards off.
Yeah. What I've noticed is every expansion, people say Rogue is trash because it's a combo class, and most combo cards by themselves look shit. But this deck runs a lot of not just card draw, but card generation. So Hallucination is an amazing, amazing card. The 1-mana spell, discover a card from your opponent's
Yeah, that
class.
card's frustrating.
It's so good. It cycles with gadgets and it generates itself. If you're playing against rogues, you can generate other. If you're playing against pirate warrior, you can often discover something which will gain you armor or a taunt, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's a chance to choose your swashbuckler essentially.
I was playing against this deck. Like I think the one time I played against it, they got Arcanite Reaper twice off of Hallucination. I was like,
There we go.
I was like, great.
That is the beauty of that card.
Yeah, it's good.
Plus, you have the Razor Petal Lasher, which is the 2-mana 2/2, puts a 1-mana Razor Petal, which is a spell which deals 1 damage. Again, Gadget Zan cycling, Thalno synergy, early board. It's a very useful early board control tool against pirates because Patras has 1 health.
Yeah.
And Zoth's first mate has 1 health. Spell damage, 2 damage. It does a lot. But so through all of that, Sherazin, you can often revive him kind of maybe if you get him out on turn 4, you'll revive him quite easily, maybe 4 times, assuming they kill him every turn. And that's just a constant threat that they've got to deal with.
I just feel like it's a little bit of a struggle that he doesn't get charged. I mean, it'd be bust if he got charged, but like, I feel like you bring him back, it's like you have to wait a whole time.
I think yeah, but honestly, that doesn't make that much of a difference with this deck, as it's a deck which are like it's all about the board tempo swings. Like you're doing your preps and eviscerates and stuff to clear their side of the board, all while cycling through your deck, getting out 0-mana Arcane Giants and then a massive Edwin.
Fair enough.
Like you're getting a bonus 5/3. Like I think in its current iteration, the card is very balanced and also
like
very good. Yeah, it's just like an extra bonus card. But what is, I think, possibly the most insane card is the Vilespine Slayer, which is my new favorite card. I have 2 golden Vilespine Slayers. They are my babies. I call it Anti-Deathwing because, like I said, playing against Taunt Warrior, they run out of steam quite a lot, and they generally run Deathwing. So my strategy is flood the board. Like generally you want to try and stagger resources a bit, so they use both of the brawls. So then they are left with 1 board clear, which is Deathwing. Then you're keeping Vilespine Slayer in your hand this whole time, just waiting. And it's pretty funny when the Corrupted Servant of the Old Gods dies to a plant.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten Sherazin off of Mimic Pod?
I have. I had a game earlier where I had. I got it from Swashbuckler and from Mimic Pod. Wow. I had 3 out.
That's ridiculous. That's when that card gets absolutely insane. Because
that was funny. I did, however, lose the game because they hallucinated Vanish.
So what happens with that? If they're plants, will they still go to your hand?
If they are dormant, they stay on the board.
Okay.
Because it's not a minion. But if they are alive, then they will return to your hand like a normal minion.
Of course, yeah.
In the same way that like the alive one can be targeted by, say, Polymorph if you have that card for some reason. But while it's dormant, it can't be targeted by anything which would change its form.
All right, fair enough.
And obviously,
I'm definitely gonna build this deck and try it out.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this deck now. I have all these cards. I want to play it. This looks fun.
It is like You know when a deck is really satisfying to play? Like, it plays like a normal Miracle Rogue, kind of just early board control, just kill all their stuff with backstabs and Plan of Knives and whatnot, then just go mental.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on to the last deck of the week. We have Zoo Discard Lock.
So this is my baby, and my baby is not so good. When they were doing all the reveals and they were showing the different cards, I was already at the point where I was playing a Demon Lock. One of my really good friends, Dan, and I both love the Demon Lock deck, and so we were both theory crafting how amazing this deck would be with Clutch Mother and the new Lakari Sacrifice. So day one, I crafted Golden Lakari Sacrifice to get the Golden Imps and a Golden Clutch Mother, because why not?
That's a lot of dust.
Yeah, that's a lot of dust. So, I did my day one dusting. My day one Golden from MSOG was Kazakis, and that was a great craft. Not this year.
You can't win them all.
So what I found is...
Do you know what my day one craft was? Golden.
What was it?
Blood Mage House.
Well, that's good. So
I mean, it's a good card.
I like the deck, and it's fun to play. It's absolutely a ton of fun to play. But you have to get your discards off early.
Yeah.
You can't wait. So a lot of times it's just about RNG, because you'll have that turn to succubus that will either discard Clutch Mother or your Silver Golem or something you really need, and like your Doom Guard that you really need, and it discards your Doom Guard because RNG hates me.
Yeah.
But when RNG goes well, as Zach can tell you, the deck is really, really strong and really powerful, and you can get six. You can get your 6 discards out rather quickly if things go well. And once you get that portal out, it's just disgusting. I mean,
how often do you get the quest out?
When I first started playing, first 2 days, I got the quest out a lot because I felt it was a little bit slower. But now I find
still experimenting.
Yeah, I find that now that even though the meta is still real diverse, I find that I either win or lose before I get the portal. So I wound up.
It's just a kind of win more card.
Yeah, it's absolutely a win card. So I think this would be much better in a control. Or a mid-range demon zoo deck.
Yeah, it'd be a great finisher for a control deck.
Even to check this out, and I was thinking, I've been theory crafting another deck and putting Elise in there so that you have 5 extra cards that you could just get rid of, because again, when you think about it, in a 30-card deck, when you're discarding 6, that's a fifth of your deck.
20%.
That's about your deck.
50% of your deck you're just throwing away. Now keep in mind, you can get them back with the card that's not in the zoo version of this deck, which is the Dino something. It's a 6 mana 5/5, and it's
Dinomancer.
Yeah, the Dinomancer.
Something Dinomancer.
And when its death rattle is to bring back something that you've discarded.
My views changed completely with that card when I thought it was a battle card the whole time.
Yeah, it's a death rattle. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it would be way OP if it was a battle cry. But then I've also thought about in theory crafting that putting the new legendary that's
Umbra?
Umbra 3/4 and makes your death rattles battle cries also.
Very good with Councilman too.
Exactly. So I think my deck of the week next week is going to be a mid-range version that I build of this, or a control version that I'm going to experiment with, just because I spent a lot of dust on these cards, and I'm going to make them work.
You're gonna make them work. Yes.
I'm going to make them work. So stay tuned. If you want to play this, all these decks will be in the show notes that we will give in the synopsis. This deck is fun.
They'll be on the
Don't expect the 75% win rate, but the deck is fun.
You can get a 70%.
So if you have these cards, and you want to play some casual and have some fun, definitely recommend it. If you want to beat Zach or Dubs, you can definitely build this deck because it will destroy him. Yeah. So that's my little thing on that.
KP56 raises a valid point, which is, in a control deck, why would you not just pick Jiraxis?
Jiraxis would be in the control version.
Yeah.
And actually,
You're going for both.
Why
The
not?
ultimate greedy deck.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
But if you happen to get...
Every turn,
Jiraxis
2/3, 2 imps, and just 6/6.
Why not?
it wouldn't be a terrible card to discard because I wouldn't mind getting him back.
Yeah, you gotta think, like, you play this turn 1, like, anytime you discard a card for your powerful cards, it's counting towards the quest. Jiraxis isn't coming out till late game. So by then you're bound to have, you have your Doom Guards, or I'm sure the Lulakari Fellhound or be played in a control type deck too. I mean, that's like 4 cards right there if you play them both, and then you happen to, I don't know, like Soulfire or something, or I mean, you can get 6 fairly quickly in a control type deck.
And then back from the Dynamance, you got a 3/15 on the board.
Argosit.
Yeah.
4/16 taunt. Priest Nightmare.
That's not too terrible. So we'll see. I'll definitely have to tinker around with it and see. But that's my job for this week is to try to build it and make it work.
You can do it.
Well,
make sure that 6/400. All right. So I have a question for both of you.
All right.
So what was your surprise hit of the expansion so far, and what was the biggest disappointment?
Surprise hit. Let's see. I guess I'll go first. The biggest surprise would probably be the 3/3 for 4, the neutral card, the pterodactyl, when it attacks, attacks a hero. I was like, this card's trash. It's never gonna see play. Well, I was terribly mistaken. Someone played it, and I was like, what a scrub. I'm about to whoop his butt. Well, he attacked, and then it got Wind Fury. And then he attacked again. And then it got Divine Shield. I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I couldn't kill it. He attacked, and then it got +3 attack. And then he attacked again. And then he got Divine Shield again. And I couldn't kill it. And then he attacked, and it got +3 attack again. And then he attacked, and it got +3 attack again. I'm like, oh my god. I couldn't kill it. I don't know I can't remember what deck I was playing, but I had absolutely no way to kill it. And I was like, okay, that card's good. And then I guess biggest disappointment, probably the Kari Sacrifice, just because I got it golden. I got it 5 times or 4 times, sorry, in my pack openings. So I was like, I have to play this deck, and it did not work for me. That was sad.
So I would say the thing that I'm impressed about the most I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually say the elementals.
Okay.
Because I really thought that there was a good chance that they were going to be the grimy goons of this expansion. And I feel like, they really, really are awesome. In Elemental Paladin, I mean, when you get the guy that can discover an elemental, and you're pulling out, extra Ragnaros Light Lords, and then you have the discover a taunt guy in there that discovers, more. There's the new legendary that turns everything to 3/3s. He's not elemental, but But even in Elemental Shaman, when you're discovering Alakir or you're discovering the new legend.
Kalimos.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I would like to piggyback on that real quick though. I
yeah.
forgot to mention Firefly is is a very good card.
It is a very
It fits in so many decks. Like it's not powerful, on its own, but like it just completes so many different quests and different things. Like it's a staple in like 3 or 4 decks now.
Yeah.
Like what's it in? It's in like Elemental Shaman.
It's an Elemental
It's
Shaman.
in some Quest Rogues.
It's in actually every Elemental deck. Any Elemental deck it's in. Quest Rogue.
It's in Aggro Druid.
Quest Hunter.
Quest Hunter. Like
it's probably like 6-7 decks right there.
Yeah, like it's a great card. Like it's not powerful, but it just completes so many different decks. Like I remember we talked about it. I actually remember listening to the podcast. You were like, "Oh, Firefly, it just makes like a copy of itself. Let's move on." Like we missed that one. That card was good.
So yeah, I think that the Elemental class has been my biggest good surprise, and I'm really excited that they're getting play and even in different forms. There's pure Elemental Shaman that I was playing, and there's Kalento's Jade Elemental that I've been playing. So that's been
I like the Jade Elemental.
Yeah, me too.
And then my biggest disappointment is Clutch Mother Zavas. She's
in gold.
she's gonna work. I'm gonna make her work, but I feel like I've gotten her up to 8-8 and 10-10 before.
Wow.
But that's like when RNG is just totally on your side and everything's working out. But then there's times where like she sits in your hand and you discard like 4 or 5 times and everything else gets discarded and you're sitting there with effing 2/2 in your hand and you just want to scream. So
yeah,
she's a cool card. She's a fun card, but not as competitive as I thought she would be. What about you, Bobson?
Well, I guess for my surprise, I've got to give some kind of a shout out to Crackling Razormaw, the card which I said was trash, but has turned out to be like
it's good.
Deck defining, and has almost single-handedly made Hunter viable. So there's that. Then I think it's a toss-up between Volatile Elemental in particular is such a good anti-aggro card.
Is it the card that puts the 2/1/1s?
Now that's the Death Rattle does 3 damage to a random minion.
Oh, okay.
It's so good against aggro because it's like it's a 1/1, so it goes into a 1/1 minion and then kills their other thing.
Fair enough.
Or there's the Gentle Megasaur.
It's a good card.
But which was I was like, oh, looks alright. Literally a game-winning card.
It's frustrating when they get Wind Fury or +3 attack.
But like just so many things.
What about
+1/+1, plus health, plus attack, Divine Shield,
So
Wind
anything,
Fury.
Actually, anything it gets.
Because like I have been playing a fair amount of Murloc aggro paladin, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And hilarious because it just Divine Favor is such a broken card sometimes.
Yeah.
But like once it's down to top decks, Gentle Megasaur is just game over. I've won so many games off the back of that card.
No.
It is insane. So I think that's been my biggest surprise hit. Then my biggest disappointment, it's just going to have to be the entirety of Death Rattle Priest quest and all. A deck I was very excited.
Standard or just in general?
I am most definitely not talking about Wild. In Wild, it is amazing.
It's a monster in Wild.
It is a beast. One that I'm having a huge amount of fun playing. However, unfortunately, Standard just doesn't have the tools anymore. Like making Death Rattle's priest thing when, like, I think Museum Creator has hit that deck so hard.
I loved that
It's
card in the
I
quest. It's so good.
adore that card.
Yeah.
Like that card is so vital to the deck. And
Yeah.
like I think
Helps you curve out.
yeah, it's like, what else are you gonna play? Loot Hoarder.
I mean, like, especially like, you know, you play it and then you like you see
It just lets you. It lets you, like, you can look at your hand, see what am I missing.
Yeah, like turn 5 now I can pick a 2-drop. I have a 3-drop already in my hand. Bam, it's 2 death rattles turn 5. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so I really feel that the Awaken the Makers was sadly a miss,
But then again,
which is sad given that I was really looking forward to that card.
it's, you know, it's bad developmentally just to make cards for standard though. I feel like some of these cards they're looking out for in wild.
Yeah, but also Awaken the Makers
Very much the case.
and you've got 2 more expansions. Well, you've got a lot more stuff coming
yeah.
out. So while it might not be the shit right now, you know, just wait and see what other death rattles come to Priest.
Yeah, I mean,
but
Purify is the ultimate example of that. Like,
Yeah.
As a standard deck, though, it is
as
pretty bad. Although Priest has got some other very interesting archetypes.
Yeah.
KB46, another card which I thought was going to be great, which has turned out to be disappointing, is Stampede.
I
thought this card was good.
I think that card's amazing.
It doesn't work a lot more than it does.
It's helped me complete my Hunter quest countless times. I think, just me personally.
I think it's probably quite good in the Hunter quest, but as a general, I thought it was going to be a kind of great mid-range Hunter card.
Oh, okay.
And I was very wrong.
I think we even played Epic Sax Guy to that card.
We did.
We did.
You jumped on that before I even finished saying Stampede. That song was playing. I was like, Stampede.
Yeah, but I think we missed on that one.
I'm still sticking to it. I love that card. Just as a one of.
Needs to be a Stampede deck then.
My Hunter deck already has Stampede in it, so all right, I'll do my Hunter deck next week.
Yeah, I mean, the Hunter quest as a whole was kind of.
It's so good.
A bit of a mess.
I think it's so good. Like if you draw the Raptor the turn after you play Queen Carnissa, you are almost guaranteed to have your entire board filled with 3/2 Raptors, and your hand stays exactly how the same as it was before. It's so good, especially with Tundra Rhino. Throw down Tundra Rhino, on late game, play a couple Raptors, trade into stuff. Yeah, it's great.
I mean,
I'm having a lot of fun, at least with it. I wouldn't say it's tier 1, but I'm having a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's been like a
It's no Control Warrior. All right.
However, it's definitely no Paladin quest.
Yeah. that quest is great too.
No, it's not.
I know. Leave me alone.
All right, guys.
I feel very vindicated about the Paladin quest. I've been saying it for weeks.
Let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. I have a baby shouting at me.
If you've made it this far, then thank you very much for watching and/or listening. We appreciate support. Please email us at aroundthehearthpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your decks that you've built. Questions, just your experiences, funny game stories, anything that you can think of. Email us, and we'll get back to you. We'll put it on the show. We'll make you a part of the show.
Yes.
And also, we have a Patreon. If you'd help support us,
give us your money, please.
Even $1 a show. Everything helps us towards getting the space to host the podcast and get graphic designs that we so desperately need, and just keep this going. Our Patreon information can be found in the subscription or in the notes below the YouTube video and below the iTunes podcast if you're listening on iTunes. Please also give us some 5-star reviews. 5-star reviews help us get seen by other people so that they can enjoy this podcast as much as you have or have not enjoyed it. So,
or 4-star reviews if you're feeling really mean. You're gonna have some 4 stars to make the average look more reasonable.
Yeah.
Give us some reviews. We'd love to hear.
We have
from you.
6 5-star reviews currently. You know, we're doing all right. So don't give us 4. Don't listen to them. Don't give us 4-star reviews.
Do we have a 6th now? Because we only had 5 last time. Who's the 6th from?
Well, Philly Squirrel, whoever that is. My co-hosts are amazing, and I think this is a top-notch show.
Oops! Hey, look at who did that. I don't know. He must be a cool guy, though. So anyway, we will give you a shout out.
You know what? I'm going to do something that we haven't done before. I'm actually going to guarantee this person a spot on our show next week.
Wow.
And yeah, I know that's a little out there, but I'm going to get in touch with him, and he's going to be here next week, guaranteed. So.
Awesome. So maybe you could be on our show. So please give us a 5-star review. Listen to us on iTunes. We have Twitter, Facebook, all those great things.
Pinterest.
So give us a like.
At Around the Hearth.
Yep. So this is Evil Squirrel.
I'm Peter Bobson.
I'm Dubs, signing off.
See you guys.
Laters.
Bye-bye.